Luxury. It's not just about price tags or horsepower. It's about presence. It's the feeling of a door closing with a muffled thunk, the scent of leather aged to perfection, and the silence that follows when craftsmanship becomes art. But behind the glitter and prestige, there are two sides to every emblem. Some cars define eras of excellence, machines that raised the bar so high, even time itself struggles to reach it. Others fell spectacularly from grace, proving that even the richest brands can get it terribly wrong. Today, we uncover the 4 greatest luxury cars ever built and the 3 worst misfires in luxury history. Each of them tells a story of ambition, triumph, and failure written in chrome, leather, and legacy. The best icons of craftsmanship. Our journey begins not in Europe, but in Japan, with a brand that didn't just build a car, it built a philosophy. Lexus LS400, the car that changed everything in 1989. Toyota took a breathtaking gamble. They spent nearly $1 billion creating a car meant to outclass the world's finest Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, all in one move. The result was the Lexus LS400, a car so quiet that test drivers could hear the ticking of their own watches. Its 4.0-liter V8 ran with a precision unheard of at the time, so smooth you could balance a coin on its intake while it idled. The engineers even tuned the sound of the door latch until it conveyed tranquility. A Lexus engineer once said, "We didn't build this car to compete. We built it so no one else could." Auto journalists were stunned. The LS400 wasn't just reliable, it redefined what luxury meant. Refinement without arrogance, technology without fragility. It didn't just challenge Europe's elite, it humbled them. Even 30 years later, many LS400s still glide down highways whisper quiet, proving that true craftsmanship never goes out of style. Mercedes-Benz S-Class W126, the gold standard. If Lexus reinvented luxury, Mercedes wrote the rulebook. The W126 S-Class, built from 1979 to 1991, wasn't designed by marketers. It was designed by engineers who believed perfection wasn't optional, it was expected. Every W126 was a masterclass in durability and discipline. Its panels were over-engineered to survive decades. Its seats, sculpted like thrones, were meant to last through millions of highway kilometers. This was the first car to combine ABS brakes, airbags, and crumple zones in one seamless symphony of safety. It wasn't flashy, it didn't need to be. The W126 exuded quiet dominance. Business leaders, diplomats, and heads of state didn't buy this car to show off. They bought it to belong to a league that valued excellence over excess. A former Daimler engineer once said, "We didn't build a car for our customers, we built it for their grandchildren." And they meant it. Many W126s still run today, bulletproof both figuratively and literally, some even used as state cars long after their successors retired. The W126 is the reason every S-Class since has been judged not by its features, but by its soul. Rolls-Royce Phantom VII, the modern monarch. At the stroke of midnight on January 1, 2003, history restarted. The first Rolls-Royce Phantom VII, built entirely under BMW's stewardship, rolled out of the brand new Goodwood plant, a symbol of rebirth and reverence. The goal, to create nothing less than the best car in the world. The Phantom's 6.75-liter V12 produced effortless torque, not to accelerate, but to glide. Its ride quality was surreal. You didn't hear the world outside, you floated above it. Inside, 450 hand-stitched pieces of leather, the finest veneers, and a starlight ceiling made every journey feel divine. Even the umbrellas in the doors were heated. Because perfection notices details others ignore. A Rolls-Royce isn't driven, it's experienced. One owner described it best: "It's not about getting somewhere, it's about being someone on the way." For Rolls-Royce Phantom VII wasn't just a car, it was a statement that tradition and innovation could coexist in absolute harmony. Bentley Mulsanne, the last great British handcraft. The Bentley Mulsanne, introduced in 2010, was more than a car. It was a tribute to an art form on the edge of extinction. Each Mulsanne required over 400 hours of human labor. No robots, no assembly lines, just craftsmen and passion. Under its long hood lived a 6.75-liter twin-turbo V8, an evolution of an engine design dating back to the 1950s. It wasn't about numbers, it was about feel, the smooth surge of torque that carried you as if on silk rails. Inside, silence ruled. Every panel fit like fine cabinetry, every stitch aligned like a Savile Row suit. When Bentley announced its end in 2020, it wasn't just the death of a model, it was the closing of an era. The Mulsanne was the last hand-built British luxury car made entirely by artisans, before technology took over the throne. And that's precisely what made it immortal. The worst when prestige went wrong, but where there's brilliance, there's hubris. Luxury car history isn't just about craftsmanship, it's also about cautionary tales. For every masterpiece, there's a machine that tried too hard, cost too much, or simply forgot what luxury was meant to be. Cadillac Cimarron, the fall of a giant in the early 80s. Cadillac, once America's symbol of prestige, panicked. European sedans were rising, and Cadillac wanted in. But instead of designing a true rival, General Motors simply rebadged a Chevy Cavalier, added some leather, a few badges, and tripled the price. The result? The Cadillac Cimarron. It was underpowered, underwhelming, and overpriced. Reviewers at the time didn't hold back. Car and Driver called it a cynical insult to Cadillac buyers. Even Cadillac executives later admitted it was a mistake that haunted the brand for decades. The Cimarron proved something important. You can't fake luxury. You can't glue on prestige. Luxury must be earned, not applied. Maserati Biturbo, the Italian heartbreaker. When Maserati launched the Biturbo in 1981, it had a vision, a beautiful, affordable Italian luxury coupe for the everyman. And at first glance, it was brilliant. Twin turbos, plush interiors, seductive lines, the dream of having a little Ferrari for your driveway. But behind that seductive shape was an avalanche of problems: overheating, electrical fires, oil leaks, and fragile interiors. Owners loved the idea of owning Italian passion until it refused to start. One journalist once joked, "Owning a Biturbo is like dating a supermodel who steals your wallet and sets your house on fire, but you still can't let go." Still, the Biturbo deserves a small salute. It tried, it dared, it carried the torch through Maserati's darkest financial years. But it also taught the world a harsh truth: design and desire mean nothing without discipline. Aston Martin Lagonda. The futuristic flop few cars have fascinated collectors and historians, like the Aston Martin Lagonda series. 2. When it appeared at the 1976 Urals Court Motor Show, jaws dropped. It looked like nothing else, a four-door wedge of pure sci-fi elegance. And inside, a fully digital dashboard, touch controls, and computer-managed electronics, decades ahead of its time. But there was one problem. None of it worked. The electronics constantly failed. Owners waited months for repairs. Cars left the factory unfinished. Time magazine later called it the $150,000 car that sometimes started. Yet, in a strange way, the Lagonda became a legend, not because it succeeded, but because it did. It's a reminder that innovation is risky, and sometimes you need the dreamers who are willing to fail spectacularly so others can succeed. Expert reflection. What these cars teach us, what makes a luxury car truly great. It isn't just horsepower or leather thickness, it's the philosophy behind it. The best luxury cars, like the LS400, the W126, the Phantom, and the Mulsanne, were built around values, precision, respect, and patience. They remind us that true prestige isn't about impressing others. It's about rewarding yourself quietly, confidently. The worst ones, the Cimarron, Biturbo, Lagonda, fell victim to impatience, ego, and shortcuts. They chased trends instead of TIMELESSNESS. Luxury, after all, is the art of doing things the hard way, beautifully. Slide into a Lexus LS400, you feel serenity. Sit in a W126, you feel authority. Step into a Phantom, you feel immortality. Drive a Mulsanne, you feel connection. Not through technology, but through craftsmanship. And that's the secret. The emotional fingerprint of a great luxury car. It's not about being seen. It's about how it makes you feel when nobody's watching. That's something even money can't buy, because it comes from soul, not spreadsheets. Luxury is fragile. It's built on trust, the belief that a car can be more than metal, that it can reflect you. The greats Lexus, Mercedes, Rolls, Bentley earned that trust through relentless pursuit of excellence. The failures Cadillac, Maserati, Aston remind us how easily it can be lost in a world racing toward automation, electrification, and these cars stand as time capsules, proof that true luxury comes not from technology, but from human touch. So, tell me, if you could choose one for your dream garage, would you take timeless perfection like the Rolls-Royce Phantom, or a flawed masterpiece like the Aston Martin Lagonda? Because sometimes, even imperfection has its own kind of beauty. Thank you for joining this journey through the icons and missteps of luxury. If you love the stories behind the world's most exclusive cars, the craft, the culture, and the legacy, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Comment below. What's the one luxury car you believe deserves a second chance? Until next time, drive with purpose, live with class.